Welcome back to Daily Flash. You know, the benefits of using CBD oil to treat chronic pain, anxiety, inflammation, and sleep issues, well, they're very well documented. And while there's currently only one CBD product approved by the FDA, many doctors and healthcare providers recommend trying CBD to alleviate certain conditions and also improve health and wellness. Our next guest, Inesa Ponomariovaite, is a holistic health and consultant and CEO of Nessa's Hemp, and she joins us here today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here.
You're from Lithuania first. I just love your accent as we were talking here. Your journey into doing all of this, where did it come from? You have a personal story with CBD and such, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's definitely personal. And it started actually years ago when I actually received that early phone call, early morning from Lithuania. And on the other line, I had my mother telling me that she is diagnosed with cancer and she has 6 months left to live.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was the moment where my heart fell apart and I just became very devastated. But at the same time, I became the most determined person on the planet to do what it takes to save my mother. Wow. So with that being said, I, as a big believer in a holistic approach and a holistic medicine, I investigated all the possible solutions to my mother and her cancer. So I spent 2 years of investigating CBD products, all the research, scientific studies, in order to become the cannabis expert.
All right, let me ask you this. Prior to that, had you ever heard of CBD? Did you know anything about it? Was it something you dove into, or explain that?
Yeah, so it's, as I said, when you're really experiencing and looking at all those herbal remedies that possibly can help with no side effects to your mother, what I noticed that CBD or the hemp plant itself had the highest potential to help my mother to improve her symptoms.
You know, we hear in this day and age, and it's luckily we have diagnoses and we have medicines that can be able to fix things, but they're basically chemicals. They're chemicals that we're taking, and we take these pills. And it seems like before we even thought about these centuries, millennia almost, it came from the earth. And it sounds like for CBD, that's where a lot of this is actually coming from. And we are finding out more and more how beneficial CBD is. Is that what you found as well?
Yes, I find that it's been for thousands of years.
Yeah.
We use this as medicine very long time ago. It does not have a side effects as long as it's a proper product. And it can be very beneficial for your health.
Well, all right, let's talk about that, because there is a lot of people, when they hear hemp, they hear CBD, they're like, no, I'm staying away from all of that because of what we know, what we think of as far as marijuana. But that is nowhere near the case, right?
No, it's definitely not. It's a two big difference. So the major differences between marijuana and the hemp plant is that marijuana contains those very high levels of THC that makes you high, buzz, and makes you that uncomfortable feeling, versus hemp plant has very high levels of CBD, and it's federally legal, and you can purchase them over the counter.
I think people would be surprised when they find out about the many uses of hemp and where it can be used and what it could be used from, all the way down to my clothing, my wallets, and that sort of thing. And it seems like if it comes from the earth, you know, that it's less of a threat. I don't have to worry about any kind of necessarily side effects that comes from it. I mean, have you ever tried to count about how many things hemp and CBD can take care of? I mean, is it just, you know, endless, or?
So not all the CBD products are the same, and they are not, and they can be a little bit different also. If we talk about regular CBD products, the most well known is for like chronic inflammation, symptoms like sleep and mental issues. But what we notice on Nessa's hemp, that the people revealing completely new, never heard of CBD benefits. And that's very fascinating to me, because the way we produce our products are completely different from any other product on the market, from the extraction process to growing and all other methods that we use.
Without giving away any proprietary information here, I mean, when you say it's different, is it meaning like in a different facility, or is it ground a different way, or explain how it's different than others?
So our processes are very different. It starts from non-GMO seeds.
Oh, big deals. Yes, non-GMO is a major thing. Absolutely.
Biological soil.
Okay.
That was a big thing for us. A very organically grown and organic certified products and plants, and very precise, very slow and low temperature extraction methods in order to extract all these healing benefits from the plant to the finished bottle. Just imagine if you have a vegetable that is full of toxin, mold, pesticides, heavy metals, and if it's overcooked and that kills all the nutrition and the value within that vegetable. Same with those hemp plants. It's so critical to carry them so precisely in each of those steps to keep them organic, non-GMO, and have those very precise, very slow and low temperature in order to extract them, to keep the safety and quality within the plant.
You know, and this, you know, when CBD, you know, became more mainstream, it seems like so many companies were rushing to do it, and they probably bypassed a lot of that. I imagine it took more of a sacrifice to be able to make sure you did it the right way and the longer way, but in the end is going to be a healthier, better product, and it sounds like that's what happens. And did it take a while? Was it longer to be able to go through that process for maybe that other companies might be able to have done?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I created Nessa's Hemp, because I physically visited all the companies across the globe. I walked into their facilities. I tested every product on the market myself with my own independent lab results. And when I realized these products don't represent what the plant has to give it to us, that was the moment where I said, I have to do something about it.
Well, we're glad you did here. If people want to find out information, where can they go and where can they get some of Nessa's oils?
So you go to Nessa's Hemp at Nes Hemp, H-E-M-P, nessashemp.com, and you're welcome to purchase your first bottle today and start your health and wellness journey.
Alrighty, and you ship throughout the United States because this can go anywhere. It doesn't have the THC in it, so it's legal, right?
Yes.
So I need to make that known because it's great. So somebody might be watching somewhere in Des Moines, Iowa. They're able to do it no matter what. This is very interesting, and not only that, but inspiring too. And be able to, the motivation behind it was so important to you. It obviously shows in your story. So thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate that. And again, if you want to find out more information, the website's waiting for you. It's nessashemp.com. And of course, we'll have this interview and so much more on our own website, DailyFlashShow.com. Don't go anywhere. We got more right around the corner. Thanks for joining with us.